Welcome to Happy Hour, also known as Freedom Fridays Happy Hour. Let me let you know what we're talking about today, okay? So I have to say this: 300,000 Black women, and the number might have grown, were laid off last year, and I saw that number and it hit me. It hit me in the chest, and it took me right back because I remember going through getting laid off, all the feels, and the hardest part wasn't losing the job. It was everyone around me acting like, "Oh, it's not like yes, it's a big deal, but hurry up and get over it. Like you should be over it by now." And I don't think they meant to be like that. I think they were just trying to help me feel better because they kept saying things like, "Oh, well, you'll find something, or at least you have time." Like losing my job was a scheduling change. I'm like, not quite. But here's the thing: what nobody really talked to me about, and I think what's important to talk about is that it's not just grieving losing a paycheck. It's um, grieving who I believed I was because of that title. You know, we've put so much of our title as our identity. And if I'm not that, then who am I? And am I a failure? And all of these other things start to come up when you lose a job. It's not just not having the money. And so now being on the other side of it, yes, I lost my job. Actually, that was back in 2009 when the recession went through. And now being to the place where I'm running my own business while still working a job, but running my own business and choosing to have this job on my own terms, I could see some things that I couldn't see back then. And so tonight I wanted to talk about it, about what's really underneath um, when you get laid off and all of the emotions and the things, the identity crisis that nobody really prepares you for or even really talks about, and what it looks like to rebuild without repeating that same cycle because you are more than your job title. So how do you, when you go through such a big like change like that, especially when you didn't choose to leave, how do you navigate that without letting it tear you down? So, whether you've been laid off, pushed out, or watching someone else you love go through this, yeah, this is going to be a good conversation. This conversation is for you. So, I'm looking forward to chatting about it today. Grab your drink. Let's wind down from the week together. And, once the intro goes through, I'm going to introduce myself and we'll start by celebrating our wins from the week. So let me go ahead and get the intro set up here. Let me see. Let me get myself together. All right. Take a second and get your drink. Ooh, is it playing? Play. Oh my gosh. Of course. Um, Here we go. Did it start? No. Lord have mercy. Riverside changed something and now it's not working again. Y'all know I am so tired. Man, let me see what's going on in the chat. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me stop sharing here. Yes. Okay, where did I just lost? Okay, I lost my window. So, if you're new here, I am Rashadat. I am a lifestyle coach, and I'm all about helping you fully enjoy life, not just being ambitious and winning at work. Because sometimes we get so caught up in the goals and the things that we want to accomplish that we forget it's all set up. Like the whole point of it is so that we can live fully. And I'm about helping you transition back into that. So I'm looking forward to meeting you, chatting with you, and having fun with you. So we start every week by celebrating our wins. So take a second and start thinking about what wins you want to share in the chat. And I want to say hello in the chat. Hey Megan, how are you? Happy Friday. I'm glad you are here. Hey, Bob Jones. Oh, thank you. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. Losing a job is extremely disconcerting. I completely agree with you. Thank you. I'm not currently in a place where I've lost a job, but I think it's definitely a conversation that we need to talk about. But I've been in that situation and it is disconcerting and it's disorienting. It could take you out, and I think that's the other reason why it's good to talk about it. So I'm looking forward to talking about it tonight, and hopefully sharing some things that I've learned from the experience. That if you're going through it, if you know someone going through it, um, if you feel like you're being pushed out and it's about to happen, that some of the things that I share, I hope that it makes it easier to go through that. I wish that someone had shared those things with me. So yeah, I'm hoping to share those things as well. So thank you for that, though. That's very, very kind of you. I appreciate that. Yes. Okay, cool. So let's celebrate some wins. Every Friday, I love for us to celebrate wins that we've had from the week, because if you're watching this channel, you're good at being ambitious, you're good at pushing through and doing the next thing and always like moving. But we're really not good at stopping and celebrating how much we've actually accomplished. And so let's just use this little bit of time to carve out some time to celebrate like what we have accomplished this week. So take some time, type it out, put it in the chat so that we can all celebrate it together. And while you're doing that, I'm going to think of some wins that I am celebrating from this week and share them with you. So let me think. I one win. So the last probably 48 hours, 72 hours, the job that I'm working at, I had a coworker that did something that was not appropriate and triggered me and another coworker. We're a very small team. We're only four, so pretty much she triggered half the daggone team. And usually that would make me be like, "Oh, sookie now, like these toxic suckers, I can't deal with it," and be ready to go. Um, but I felt growth in myself as I was processing it, and really finding a way to articulate what I need. And our manager is remote, so um, having a conversation with that manager and really like bringing it up in a way that was not emotional but allowed it to be productive and get down to the root of what the problem was, rather than being annoyed and being like, I can't take y'all. Um, because this has been a good job. And even we all know that the job is never about the work, it's always about the people and the relationships. And so, really, navigating the job is learning how to navigate the people. And so, I think it's a beautiful win to be able to be like, okay, this feels different than it's felt before. And I'm happy about that. And so, that's a big win for me. Hey, Keena, welcome. Always good to see you. Happy Friday. Um, so yes, that's my first win from the week. Being able to navigate that and feeling pretty empowered, um, instead of feeling like a caged bird and like they're like trapped and there was nothing I could do. I felt really good actually by the end of the day. Um, and I'm feeling good about what's coming as I continue to keep going. So there's that. That's my first win. My second one is I'm in a different work club today. It's super cute, you guys. Like, you're probably gonna see people moving because there's this really cute. Let me see. Can I show you? There's this really cute like patio out there, and it's always got the vibes in here. But I was excited about it, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cute." The reason it happened was because usually I would go to the work club that's much closer to my house. Excuse me, not to my house, to work, so that I didn't have to worry about being late. But I'm doing a house sit, and I didn't want the doggy to be like, I'm already getting home kind of late. So I wanted to get as close to the house as possible. So when I leave here, it's a shorter commute there. So um, but I like this place and it's quiet. Nobody else is here because the air conditioning doesn't work, but I love it. So I'm like, I might come to this one for the next couple weeks, seeing how it goes and see if this might be my new spot. Hey Tracy, welcome. Happy Friday. Yes. Tracy said, "Hey Rashida, hey Meg, hey Marissa, hey Bob." Welcome. So yes, that's my second one for the week. I think this is a really cute location. It's comfortable in here. Yeah, I love that switcheroo. Always brings the vibes. Um and it's always a nice, comfortable location. So there's that. That's win number two from this week. Win number three. Let's see. What is my third win from this week? What happened on? Oh, I had last weekend off, and I made a new friend, and we hung out we started talking on the phone after happy hour last week, and we hung out till 3 o'clock the next day together. So Um, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a pleasant surprise because expecting to I wasn't expecting to have that. Like it was kind of like, oh, here we are. Um, so yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. It was a really good weekend. And then the rest of the weekend too, I had some time to rest. Oh, I ate some really good food. I tried some different restaurants. Yeah, my belly was happy. It was good. It was really good. Tracy said, "Sorry, girl, just woke up and saw this. I'm so sorry to hear." Okay, let me clarify the title. I didn't lose my job this time. This is not a current thing that's happening. I really wanted to speak to the topic about the 300 Black women in the U.S. who have lost their job this year, last year. Um, and I have experienced what it's like to lose a job. So I not currently in this position, but I do think it's a really good conversation to have. And actually, because I'm not in this place right now, I think it's going to be even easier to talk about it, which is the other reason why I was open to talk about it. So yes, that's where this comes from. Um, yes, Megan said, "Hey Tracy, hey Keena." uh, Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All the welcomes and all the things. I love the community vibe. Come on, y'all. It's always good to see you. Yay. Okay. So if you have any wins that you want to share in the chat, I would love for you to share them so I can celebrate them with you. Um, Yes. Tracy said, "Woo, girl." I was like, "No, Rashida." Yes. I was like, I don't want you to worry. We good. We good. The job is for the most part good. Like I said yesterday, they were acting a little crazy, but honestly, the job is good. And no job is going to be perfect all the time. So I'm not complaining. Like I said with one of my wins, we're navigating that, having some really good conversations, and it's actually helping me connect with excuse me, out of the five people on the team, three of us are new, and one of the people of seniority is leaving, and so it's a completely new team. And so the new one of the other girls, the new girl, we've actually been connecting over this because I wasn't the only one that didn't approve or didn't appreciate uh, the impromptu conversation that happened yesterday. It was pretty inappropriate. So, um, so yeah. So all of that to say, we're still rolling strong. It's still good. Um, so yeah. Megan said, Tracy, happy belated birthday. How was your birthday? Yes, Tracy. Wait, what day was your birthday? Now you got me all mixed up. And you know I gotta sing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tracy. Happy birthday to you. Yay. You know, I love to celebrate y'all ladies. Come on. Yes, happy birthday. What did you do? Did you hang out with Elle? I hope it was nice. Are you still in Virginia? Did you make it back to New York? Listen, we need all the updates while we're hearing about the wins, okay? Yes. Okay, good. So while you're taking a second to share your wins in the chat, I am going to open it up to start getting some stickers. Let me go ahead and put um, share the sticker spreadsheet on the screen. So if you are new to claiming a sticker, here's what this is. We get so much positive reinforcement for working our ass off. I want to flip that on its head and instead give you positive reinforcement, give you a sticker like you did in elementary school. You stuck your chest out. You're like, listen, the teacher gave me a sticker. I want to give you a sticker for prioritizing rest and fun for you this week. Listen, this capitalism, hustle culture, all of that vibe has us forgetting that the whole point of everything we do is to fully live. But I want to remind us it's a really good thing to enjoy our lives right now, not later, but absolutely right now. So I hope that you will claim a sticker. So, how do you claim a sticker? If you have taken any time this week, 30 seconds, 30 minutes, 30 hours, it doesn't matter how much time you've taken because hopefully it's going to snowball and you're going to start you'll feel this vibe today and you'll be like, oh, I want to do that more, and it'll start to repeat and want to do it more. But um yeah, the if you want to claim a sticker, all you do is put hashtag STICKA in the chat and you can claim a sticker. You can claim a sticker. So let me go ahead and put that on the screen, and then let me get back to my window with the chat so I can start giving out stickers over there. Okay. Tracy said, girl, you get me weak every time. It is my absolute pleasure to sing for you, my girl. Thank you both. Of course. Happy birthday. You know we love to celebrate you. Listen, Meg said, listen, don't play. I remember her birthday was on Cinco de Mayo. Come on, Meg, with the memory. Yes, and amen. I remember because we're both Tauruses. I love it. Yes, so good. Tracy said, girl, I was sick for the entire week since Saturday, so no celebration. No. I'm so sad to hear that, Tracy. I hope you feel better. That's so sad. Megan said, when 175 days consistently meditating. Come on, Megan. Yes. Such an amazing win. Congratulations. Girl, I mean, before you know it, you're gonna be like, listen, it's been a whole year. It's gonna be your lifestyle. I love it so much. Tracy said, hashtag sticker. I'm claiming my sticker. I love it, Tracy. Let me go ahead over here and get your sticker. Well, here, let me finish reading the comments and then I'll give everybody their sticker at the same time. I love it. Megan said, oh, that sucks. So sorry you were sick for your birthday, right? I hate to hear that. I hope you get another chance, like a belated birthday chance to still celebrate. Tracy said, my win. After visiting Virginia, I came back determined to have some changes made. Well, girl, after 15 years, Tracy and her family are moving. What? Tracy, that's amazing. Where are you moving to? I can't even, that is huge. After 15 years, are you moving out of New York? Are you moving to Virginia? I can't even keep track. Tracy, oh my gosh. Megan said, thank you. I didn't really do too much. I took the whole week off and chilled. Yes, come on, Megan. You celebrated that week too. I love it. That's a good way to celebrate. Megan said, I'm claiming my sticker. Hashtag stickers. Okay, we got two people claiming stickers. Come on with it. Tracy said, "Did you eat taco?" Girl, I want to know about the taco. Where do we? It's a good taco place. Where we getting tacos from? I'm into it. I'm into it. Okay, so let me go ahead and start giving out some stickers while y'all continue to share your wins and claim your stickers in the chat. Okay, what is the sticker for today? The sticker for today is flowers. Yes. Okay. Copy. I'm claiming my sticker today. Tracy is claiming her sticker. Megan is claiming her sticker. Now, also, if you are joining us for the replay, you can still claim a sticker. Like, you don't have to be here live. All you have to do is go into the comment section and do hashtag STICKA. Okay? Hashtag sticker. And then if you're in the chat and you've never claimed a sticker before, that's okay. I could just add you to the spreadsheet right now. It's no problem. I would love to do that. So if you would like to claim a sticker, go ahead and add it to the spreadsheet or go ahead and plop it in the chat. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Tracy said, move from the apartment, but I would love to move from Virginia. But for now, new apartment, been in the same apartment for 15 years. Wow. That is amazing. Congratulations. Listen, I would imagine, well, I guess it's in Jersey. Jersey is, girl, I hope they had an elevator and all the things. I just imagine um, like these older but beautiful, like, um, antique buildings in like that tri-state area and not having elevators. So I hope you had an elevator, or no matter what, I hope you had movers so you didn't have to move a dang thing. I hope you got to lay on the couch and let them move you. Be the princess, boo. I'm into it. Tracy said, I can't believe it. My husband can't believe it. Neither can my sister. Hell, I'm shocked that I just had to repeat it, but we're moving. Oh, you're moving on June 1st. Wow, that's coming so fast. I'm so excited for you. I love it. I love it so much. Congratulations, Tracy. I'm into it. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. Okay. Did I get everybody their sticker? Let me see. Sticker, Megan and Tracy. Okay. If anybody else needs one, I will go ahead and fix that. But as of right now, let's go ahead and take the. Ooh, okay, good. We got that off. Okay, let me see. Tracy said, I'll send you the video. We have an elevator. Oh, let me tell y'all. Let me tell you before you start trying to send me the video. Y'all, all of my meta platforms got hacked. Let me tell you, last Sunday when this happened, I was like, did did I just get hacked? Yes, I got hacked. So there's good news and bad news. The good news is that even though I got hacked, Meta blocked it. So you're not gonna see anybody posting terrible things on my profile. The bad thing is when Meta blocked them, they tried to appeal it, and I think they tried to submit like a fake ID. And Meta was like, nah, dog, this ain't real. And so they declined the appeal. And when they declined the appeal, so my Facebook account that I had since 2009 with tons of pictures from all of my trips That's what I miss the most. Got shut down. No more Facebook account, no more Instagram account, no more Threads account. So if you're looking for me, you're gonna have to email me, or you can find me on TikTok. You can on TikTok it's I am Rasha.o. I did create a new Instagram account, but I don't think I'm gonna post for business on Instagram or Facebook for that matter. I don't even know if I'm gonna start a new Facebook account. I'm gonna wait a little while and see if I can get my old Facebook account back. But yeah. So if you're trying to DM me, you're going to my new Instagram is Miss Rashida.o. So let me put that in the chat because you can still send me a message that way. Just know that I'm not posting for my business there. Um, I was so gosh, I was like, I can't believe it happened so fast. I was like, what just happened here? So yes, that's I wanted to make sure I tell you guys that in case you're looking for me. That's why you didn't see any stories today because I was like, no, there's no reason to. But you know what? I see it as freedom. Like I said, I'm sad that I lost my Facebook, but the rest of it, I'm like, it's fine. I wasn't super excited about posting on Instagram anyway. Let me see. Yes, Megan said, congratulations on the new and upcoming on listen, I can read. Congratulations on the upcoming move and new space, Tracy. Tracy said, thank you. Megan said, you're welcome. Tracy said, oh, snap. Megan said, oh no. I know. Tracy said, people are really out there desperate, right? And I was like, listen, my little account, why you want my account? You can't find nobody else. Go somewhere. Yeah, it was a mess. So that's my new handle, Miss Rasha.o. Which I actually like it. It's a cute handle, but I'm just gonna leave that a personal account. I'm not gonna try to go and change everything. My website is I am Rasha.o. I'm not fixing all of that. I'm not changing all of that. You know how much work that is? We're not doing it. It's fine. Megan said, that's crazy. People need other hobbies. Listen, you ain't never lied, Megan. You ain't never lied. Oh my gosh. Tracy said, I so agree, Meg. Me too, Meg. I agree. So yes, unfortunately, that's a thing. So if you're looking for me, you want to DM me, have a quick chat. Find me on Instagram at Miss Rasha.o or just hit me up on TikTok. That's where now I've always wanted to focus on TikTok and YouTube more than anything anyway. So that was always my priority. And whatever I posted on the other ones was like, whatever. So if you really want to have a conversation or a chat, send me a message over there. But you can find me on either one. Yeah. I haven't even there's not even I haven't even put a picture up there. I'm not following anybody or anything. I literally haven't done anything with it. I was just like, let me just I'll deal with it later. This is what I decided. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about today's topic because there are, like I was talking about earlier, 300 black women. 300 black women were laid off last year, and not just that. I think there's so many people in America right now who are in a position where they've lost their job. The government has downsized. They're not giving out grants like they used to. Like you guys have watched the news. You listen. You guys watch the news more than I do, so you really know what's going on. Um, but I wanted to talk about it because I think it's more than just losing the paycheck. That is like the initial like, oh my gosh, where how am I going to make money? But then there's also this other part of losing your job where, especially in this hustle culture, capitalistic um, vibe culture that we live in, our jobs have become so much of our identity. When we go into a party or when we meet something new, we meet somebody new. One of the first things that we ask, well, what do you do? instead of who are you, what brings you alive, what are you passionate about. Like, I think we're getting better at that, but for so many of us the first question is, what do you do? So when you lose a job, or when you feel like you're getting put out of a job, or when you feel like you're not being you're being disadvantaged or taken advantage of, or disrespected at a job, all of that takes a hit to our identity because we've made our job our identity. And it's like, well, then what do I do now? And how do I not lose myself in this process? Like, what am I supposed to do? And I think, but with this being such a big topic, I felt like it was something that we should talk about. So I'm opening up my notes so I don't get too crazy on this. Where is it at? Here. I think it's right here. I thought I had opened them up, but I forgot. So yeah, that's where I'm. So if you've ever experienced anything like this, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, this is not just me, this is always a conversation. So I would love to hear your thoughts as well. I think the biggest thing that we have to consider is that when someone tries to make us feel better when you're in this situation, I don't know about you, but I hate it when someone was like, "Oh, you'll find something." Because even when I said it to myself, like, "Oh, I'll just find something," it was it was brushing under the rug all of the feelings that I was having, and it wasn't allowing me to be present in the fact that this effing sucks. It sucks to be in a position where uncertainty, because maybe you don't have an emergency fund, maybe you don't maybe you're tired anyway and you needed a sabbatical, but now you're forced to take one in a way that doesn't really set you up to win. Like, there's so many situations, there's so many things to be grieving around it. I don't I, the idea that you'll find something, it just dismisses it, and I don't want to dismiss that. So if you've ever experienced that, or if you know someone who's experienced that, I'm going to say that's the first thing I would say. Don't say that. And I don't mean it as like a, I would say that that was not something that helped me feel better when I was in that situation. And I hope that if you're feeling that you can feel seen right now and know, I understand it's hard, and things are going to change, and there's also space for you to grieve where you are right now. So that was thought number one. Okay. Here's my last point about thought number one. The reason that's so important, and I think it's, again, another part that we don't think about, when you don't dismiss it, when you allow yourself to feel those emotions, you give yourself the ability to be soft in that moment. You allow yourself to have permission to fall apart. You don't have to be the strong one. You just went through something really hard. So many people have PTSD from losing a job and all of the things that happen with it. I want you to feel seen, but I also want you to give yourself permission to say, it's okay, and like really sit in the fact that it sucks. Now, I'm not saying stay there, but don't rush past it either. There is an in between. One extreme is to just hurry up and run past it and ignore it, and the other extreme is to be sad and be hurt and stay in that hurt. There's an in between that says, I need time and space to grieve what just happened to me, and then I'm going to move forward. And I want you to know that that's completely reasonable, absolutely reasonable. Okay. So then my next thought, okay, it's not just the job that we're grieving, it's the identity. And I alluded to that. Like, if we thought that the most important thing about us is our job and what we do and our identity, and it gave us our status in the world, or it made us feel like it was the our meter, our measure of our value, then obviously when you lose your job, it makes you feel like you have no value, that you have lost your worth, that you don't have space, that 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 you don't have space to be seen, or you don't even know how you should be seen. And I listen, my heart is hurting for you. And it was a process that I didn't learn this part when I lost my job. I learned this much later as I was detaching my identity from my job, which is something that I teach inside of Jaya with Rashadat. I help you work through that so that if something like this ever happens to you again, or if heaven forbid you were in a car accident and you couldn't do your job anymore, you can still see worth and value when you detach your identity from your job. And so yeah, it's really taking a step back and saying, if I'm not being productive, if I'm not being ambitious, if I'm not doing all the things that makes me feel like I'm not lazy, do I still have worth? And the answer is absolutely yes, you do. And yet you have to believe that for yourself, and you have to define that for yourself. So, like I said, one of the things that we do inside of Jaye is really taking that step back together and helping you take the context of who you are out of this subconscious part of your brain and really bringing it to the front of your brain. And we think we know each other, we know ourselves, which we do at some capacity, but there's so much more to learn. And so it's helping us dig deeper into understanding even more of who we are, putting words to it, because when we put words to it, it becomes our power. It becomes something that we can intentionally do that helps us grow, that helps us shine, and shine with intentionality. So when someone asks you who you are, the goal is that the first thing that you say has nothing to do with your title, has nothing to do with your accolades. It's all to do with, hey, I am a dreamer, I am a visionary, I am whatever characteristics and descriptions of who you are before being a mom, before being a sister, before being a daughter, um, like before being an employee, before all of the other roles that you play, all of the ways that you are attached to everybody else and the ways that you make money. And just know, who are you? Who are you? Um, which is actually really beautiful. It's a beautiful place to be, because once I realized that, once that shifted to be my main way of thinking, my main way of showing up, it actually got easier in everything that I did. I didn't feel like I had to prove myself. I didn't feel like I was behind anymore because I had a different way to define who I am and how I want to be. Okay, I want to make sure my notes are on a different window. So I want to make sure there's not any comments before I keep running through this. Oh, Kina, your message retracted. If you want to share it back, put it back because I missed it. Okay. Megan said, feel the feels because getting hacked, I'm sure, feels violating AF. But in the end, it's probably a blessing in disguise. I personally hardly ever even use Facebook and IG anymore. Girl, let me tell you, I did have to feel the feels. And I did, even with this identity conversation, let me tell you, I had to be like, dang, are people still going to be able to find me? Is this going to, am I failing my business? And I had to be like, listen, this absolutely sucks. It wasn't sucky enough that I needed to cry, but I was definitely like, this sucks. I did go give myself a little treat later that day. So, yes, it absolutely sucked. And thank you for that permission, Megan. I received that. Megan said, I've been fired from jobs before and I got laid off from my previous job during the pandemic. So during those times, my biggest worry was money. Plus, it took forever to find another job. And that's the thing. That's the other part of it about the emotional part, because if you're like, oh, that I'll just immediately find something else, but it takes time. The longer it takes to find something else, the more it wears on our thoughts about ourselves, our beliefs about ourselves. And I think that's the other reason what makes it so important to find our identity outside of that, because otherwise if we don't have it and it's taking long to replace it, then we just end up feeling like, well, there's nothing left in me. And you know what that does? That puts us in a self-fulfilling prophecy where then it becomes it lowers our self-esteem and makes it even harder to find a job. So it's definitely a cycle, but it's a cycle that we can step out of when we start to do some of these steps that I'm talking about today. Thank you so much for sharing that, Meg. Um, Okay, Tracy said, I think there are so many layers to that word identity. It is so many layers. So many not just to the word identity, but to our identity. I will say, you know what? Y'all remember Shrek? The analogy about Shrek being an onion is the absolute best analogy about identity in general for all of us. We all are an onion. And here, let me tell you, we all got a pungent smell. Okay? And when you cut us open, you're like, oh, girl, you might make my eyes water, but you know what? You tasty. But it takes understanding that and then like peeling back the skin and peeling back the different layers of who we are to get to the core. Man, I just think it's a really good analogy. Like we are all onions and there's so much of us, and we're not just onions to everybody on the outside, we're onions to ourselves. A lot of times we know the outside, and honestly you got to be careful with even understanding the outside of the onion, because I gave y'all this vision that I had with the Lord before. We come into this earth and the world immediately starts throwing mud at us. It starts saying you're this, you're that. It starts trying to define who we are, and it does it so much that we end up covered in mud until we take our hands and we start pulling it away from our eyes and from the different parts of us until we can actually see ourselves again. So that's my other analogy for this for identity, but it's the same thing with an onion. If you throw a bunch of mud on it, you can't even begin to see the parts of it. It's not until you start cleaning it off, when you pull it out the dirt, start getting the dirt off, and then cutting it open and really getting to the core of it, that we can really get to our identity. I love that. Yes. Um, one of the jobs I was fired from, Megan said, one of the jobs I was fired from after only a week, I did feel bad because I thought I was doing well. Plus, it was a good job. It was walking distance from my house and had good benefits, which is hard too. When you actually wanted the job, you thought you were doing well, you thought it was a good fit, and then they decide that it's not a good fit. Rejection. That's hard. That's a sense of rejection. And it does take us another time to really step back and say, well, really, who am I? And who is my identity? What is my identity outside of the job? Um, so I'm sorry, it is. It's a conversation, and pulling ourselves away from that. Um, okay, let me see. Oh, because I had got too far down on the comments. Let me come back. Meg said, shortly after I lost that job, there was a fire in that building. So I guess it was a blessing because workers were displaced. So I might have been still laid off. Who knows? Right. And there's always the beauty of seeing the silver lining. Sometimes, listen, the best teacher is pain. Nobody wants to hear that, but I promise you, I'm also listening. I've been listening to the book by, I think it's Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And one of the things he's repeated is like, hey, like the best way that we'll ever learn or we'll ever grow or we'll ever reach our fullest potential is allowing ourselves to go through the pain, but going through it in a way that we're not giving a fuck about about the parts that we usually care about, and really focusing on the parts that are worth the fuckery, for lack of better way to say it. So yeah, it's actually been a good book. So um, Keena said, I cried at jobs that laid me off, and I cried when I left voluntarily. However, living below my means always cushioned me for months before finding another job. Listen, I appreciate that, Kina, because I've done that too. I've cried when I cried when I got laid off, but I also cried when I left a job that I love and it was just time for me to leave. That's so true, so real. And I appreciate you saying that because what I hear you saying that is no matter what transition you're going through, transitions are a time of grieving. And it's another thing that I love to talk about in Jaya because 9 times out of 10, we're helping you navigate through some transition, whether it's an interpersonal transition, whether it's different life transitions. There's so many different transitions that are happening as we go through this. So, um, yeah, and making space and really realizing that grieving is not just about when someone dies, it's also when a part of us dies or a part of us just changes and becomes new and evolves. There's still a grieving in that as well. And so giving ourselves permission to, like, when you have a baby, that's a grieving that life is never going to be the same, but it's also something beautiful because you're coming into a new part of life that you could never have without that baby. So all of it reminds me of, y'all, one of my favorite movies, Inside Out, when the globe has multiple colors. It's joy and sadness all in the same globe, or anger and disgust, and all of the different emotions. As we get older, our all of those things become more complex. So I totally agree with that. However, living below my means always cushioned me for months before finding another job. And that's a beautiful place to be. Again, another thing that we talk about at JIA is really getting to that point where the blow from losing a job is less about financial and more about dealing with the grieving, because we've set up an emergency fund, we've been working towards our investments, we have the financial cushion that we need to be able to navigate the transition financially so that we can be present and process emotionally what needs to happen so that we can get to that place, with one less bruise. Because you're going to get bruised along the way. That's life. But with one less bruise, because past me set present me up or set future me up to be okay. And that made present me happy, you know? Um, yeah. So I love that. I love that so, so much, Kina. Thank you. Yes, I love it. Okay. So then, the other thing, I talked about how once I realized that pulling my identity from detaching my identity from work, that really allowed me to shift, and it really made it easier for me to show up in every room because I didn't have to guess how did I need to show up in that room. I knew that what they hired me for was because I had been showing them how I show up the whole time. So it simplifies it, okay? So in this next part, my next thought was, well, what if this forced pause is the space you never gave yourself? Now there's I have multiple, I have different sides of thoughts for this. Um on one hand, especially for us as ambitious women, we were already exhausted. And so sometimes I do think something dramatic like this is really God being like, listen, boo, I told you to go take your behind and sit down somewhere a long time ago, but you weren't listening. So I'm gonna have to sit you down. Sometimes that is absolutely, absolutely a thing. And so if you're feeling that, and I actually have a friend that's going through that right now, it's so crazy because I listen, us ambitious women, us strong women, we don't know how to sit down. She knows that she needs the rest. She needs the time to detach, to the time to heal. And yet, um, this is what makes her feel behind because she's so used to grinding, so used to doing the next best thing, so used to pushing and pushing, even though she has this time to rest. Honey child is having a hard time resting. And then she tells herself, well, I'm behind because I'm not working at the capacity that I used to. But she's given herself the expectations, the level of expectation that she had before she was burnt out and exhausted. And I'm like, girl, no. And if you don't give yourself the full amount of time to recalibrate, to rest, to refill your cup, all you're going to do is stretch out your healing period even more, because you're not allowing yourself to be fully be present in the healing process as it is right now. So again, sometimes this is permission, but I'm also going to make this an invitation. Like, and I actually had this when I not when I got laid off, but when I left my job to go travel the world for a year. I realized it took me. I was gone for 11 months. Actually, I was gone for the longer than that. But the first part of the trip was 11 months. Out of that 11 months, it took me 9 months, 9 months to fully recalibrate all of me from that grind culture, hustle, push vibe. It took 9 months. Listen, this recalibration stuff doesn't happen overnight. So I'm saying that to say, if this is a time, a period where you have the time to rest, use it. Don't spend the whole time shaming yourself and guilting yourself for not hurrying up to find a job, because none of that actually helps you get to the job faster. But if you actually take that time and separate and detach and make space for you to fully reconnect back into yourself, reconnect into your joy, go have fun, laugh hard, like do goofy things that you couldn't do before, man, it changes it. It really does open things up. Okay. So that's one side of it. I have to say though, if you're going through this, no one wants to hear, well, what if this was a forced pause? That's kind of one of those things that you have to come to. You got to let Jesus tell you. And sometimes you could get the right person who will be able to like help you see that, but it's really hard to, I'm going to say, depending on where you are in the journey of grieving, if someone just lost their job, this is not the first thing they want to hear. And yet, I do believe that regardless of whether this time off is a week, a month, 6 months, or a year, however long it is, usually we can eventually grow into realizing this as we move through it. You know that um, it is it is a blessing, and it's something that we can really receive. So, okay, that's my other thought. And then my last thought. This is not about when you go back into your job. I don't want you to have the mindset. And it was actually very helpful for me. After I got laid off, after I did a career change, after I decided to go back into a job, when I realized this, I was like, oh, like I had to get it down in my spirit. You don't have to just bounce back. I would actually challenge you to not make your goal, don't make the goal to bounce back. Instead, make the goal to rebuild differently. And it comes back to the points that I said before, because, well, what about it are you building differently? You're building maybe the way that you chose the position differently. You're choosing how you connect to the job differently. Instead of it being your identity, you're seeing that it's a part of your life, not your whole life goal. Okay. Um, you're choosing in all of this different dynamic that your worth is already there, and they're just getting to they're paying you to experience your worth. not that your worth is defined by the work that you do. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mindset shift. And when you decide to rebuild it differently, it slows us down. It makes us ask some questions about more than just money and more than just, you know, the transaction of working a job, but like where where is this in the grand scheme of things in my long term vision, which again we talk about inside of JIA. And it helps put the job in its place instead of allowing it to be something that consumes us and overtakes us. So yes, that's my other thought. Okay, let me get back to the window so I can see everything that's going. Kina said, um, so did you eat, pray, love sabbatical? That was a goal of mine, still is, once I get my funds up. So I kind of did a eat, pray, love, but it wasn't just straight like the book. Um, so I went and did international missions for the first 11 months. And then I came back for 2 weeks. And then I did another trip for another 3 months. And then I went and I did a job in a different industry. It was the first time I started experimenting with jobs outside of the fashion industry. So I took a job at the missions organization in marketing. In marketing, I was a project manager, and it was the first time I realized that it. I think before that, I had this subconscious belief that the dysfunction of hustle culture was the core of the industry. I just thought it was the fashion industry problem. And then I worked for a Christian organization, and I was like, y'all suckers are toxic too. And that was when I started realizing it's a cultural thing, it's the hustle culture, it's the capitalism that is permeating in so many different ways that I didn't want. That was what I didn't want. And so I did that job for 9 months. And then I went to a leadership academy. So I went to Spain for 3 months. I came back to the States for a 3 month practicum. And then I went back to Spain for another 3 months. Um, and then that wasn't even the end of my Eat, Pray, Love journey. Like my Eat, Pray, Love journey has been probably about 4, 5, 6 years long. Because after that, um, I moved to Denver and I stayed in Denver for a while. And then I would say my Eat, Pray, Love part was when I went and lived in Costa Rica for a year. I was just like, yep, this feels right. And it did. It was great. I loved it. Um, I loved being in Costa Rica. I didn't like Costa Rica as a place to live long term, even though at first I really did want to move there. There wasn't enough us. I needed some more black people in Costa Rica. But yeah. So it was a whole it wasn't, and that's the other thing that I think all of us have to remember. This evolution to evolve our lives out of hustle culture and capitalism is a journey. I would say mine started before I even left my job. Mine started in 2014 when I started my debt snowball. And then it hit a new chapter when I paid off my last debt payment. And that was like a mini chapter. And then I had an in-between chapter before that one I just told you, where I was leaving my job, but I was debt free and I was experiencing life. So that was another part. And then um, doing that time where I was doing the missions and traveling the world. I mean, I went to 16, 17 countries over three. Because wait, I also went to Ecuador. I went to a lot of countries. I have to write them all down. Yeah, I went to like almost 20 countries in that 3 year time. Um, it was amazing and I loved it. And I also got to the point where I was tired of being a digital nomad and I was tired of having half of my stuff in Denver and the other half in Pennsylvania, which is part of the reason why I came back to the States. I wanted to establish a home base, which is another chapter because that has been trying to establish myself in the States has been harder than it was to leave the States. So that was a whole nother thing. So yeah, my Eat, Pray, Love journey was not a 90-minute movie, to say the least. It has been a whole absolute thing. So yes. And I love that you said, like, hey, I'm trying to get my funds up. But I honestly have to say, magical things happen when you just put yourself out there. Listen, like the Lord really took care of me. I didn't have like a whole huge funds, a whole bucket of funds that like kept me. Like the Lord was just showing up, and it also challenged me to open myself up to different ways of making money rather than thinking I just needed a 9 to 5. Because that was the other thing too. When you've been an employee so long, it's hard to believe that there's other ways that you can do this. But it forces you to be creative. It forces you to open yourself up and try new things. Listen, I wish I would have tried YouTube back then. Talk about where I am now. You would have really gotten to see the whole evolution. I did have a blog, so if you wanted to read the blogs, there's that. But yeah, that's the other part. Okay, let me see. Keena said, I would love to read the stories in the book or YouTube channel of the 300 plus Black women um, who were forced out of their jobs. Right. Because all of us are going through some amazing, amazing journeys. And I know in the midst of it, it's really hard to see it that way. It just feels like everything sucks. But listen, that's when I lost my job. I had a condo in Columbus, Ohio. I had a good paying job. I had a, that's what it was. It was the recession. And I went from Columbus, Ohio. I had to put my house on the market. um, I I made no money on it. I made no profit on it. But that's how I ended up California. I lived in California for 2.5 years. That was when I learned to Chicago South Step. I went to Aruba while I was there. Aruba is one of my favorite, I would say probably my favorite place in the world. So a lot of magical things happen. Um, and it started with something hard. So I hope that while this sucks for every single one of the 300 Black women who have lost their job, I also know that something magical is also coming out of it as well. I believe that with all of my heart. Okay. Keena said, please write a book, an ebook about the fashion industry for Black women designers. That would be interesting. Um, and I would partner with a couple people. Actually, it would be fun to do a conversation with my best friend and actually my best friend. There's not as many Black male straight designers in the industry, but both of them I'm sure would have very different perspectives. But it'd be interesting to talk about that. So I don't know how that fits into everything I'm doing, but I did think about, I wanted to do, once I get some other things going, I wanted to do a YouTube channel where because I was a technical designer, which means I was responsible for the fit. I wanted to do a channel where I bought clothes and showed how to create the pattern for them and how to do fit adjustments and all of those things. Now, obviously, you can go to a tailor, and I'm sure there are channels out there, but I really used to enjoy fit and construction. I was good at it. It was one of my things, but I was good at it, but I didn't love the politics of the industry. So I was good at it, but I wasn't passionate about it, if that makes sense. But I thought it would be a fun hobby. Um, so maybe I'll do it. If I ever do that channel, then maybe I'll talk about that too. That could be like what I talk about while I'm doing the adjustments. So I love that, Keena. I'll keep that in mind. Um, Keena said Black women had parallel economies back in the day. We've been hustling for 400 years. Listen. We never let the drama keep us down. And that's the other reason. So, one of the conversations that I talked about with the new guy, he was talking about how the U.S. is going to hell in a handbasket, and we're hearing so many people talk about that, and it took me. I didn't respond immediately. I haven't responded about it yet. I told him I wanted to come back around to it because I get it when people say that, and yet I feel like our if you let that be the only thing that you see, it will pull you down. But for us as black women, as black people, we always had, yes, the main economy might be doing some stuff, but we always had to adjust even more. We always had to have our own lane around that. And so just because the world is going to, or the US is going to hell in a handbag, that doesn't mean we're going to hell in a handbag, especially if we're doing some of the things that I talk about in Jaye, where we're creating our emergency fund, we're investing, we're doing things to put ourselves in a place of financial independence. So, yes, girl, I'm with you. We've been hustling for 400 years. And yet, I would love to see us. I'm all about seeing us hustle in a way that changes it from being a sacrificial thing to being an empowering. I want to see it be less sacrificial and more empowering, because it is some part of it that's empowering even right now. But I do think there's more of it that can shift. I appreciate that. Meg said 20 countries in 3 years. Yes, girl, I lived out of my suitcase and I was a pro at it. Now it takes me, I'm out of practice. When I go to pack my bag, I got way too much stuff in there right now. My gym bag is probably a good pack, but if I had to pack some luggage, listen, and I could live on out of a carry-on for 3 months. Okay, like I was a pro. So yes, it was fun. It was fun, and I intend to get back to that. Listen, when I'm dating and they ask me what I'm looking for, I said I'm looking for a sexy, tall, handsome, dark and handsome man that wants to be nasty in as many countries as we can find. Listen, I'm just being honest, okay? Don't judge me. It's okay if you do. I won't be sad. If I didn't want to be judged, I shouldn't have said it out loud. But yes, like that's one of the things. There's one of three things. So yeah, all of the countries. I love traveling. I've been traveling since I was a kid, and I will continue to do that. All right, y'all. I hope that that topic was helpful. If it was helpful, I would love to continue these conversations with you, and not just the conversations. I would love to like walk you through some of the things that I learned, not to help you build the life that I built, but to help you go through these transitions in a way that detaches your identity and helps you come out thriving, even as you process the hurt, but come out thriving on the other side, so that this is nothing but a chapter in your story, and a beautiful chapter that it can actually be, because the hardest chapters are actually the most beautiful chapters. So if you haven't had a hard chapter lately, that's okay. Don't avoid it. Make space for it, knowing that something beautiful, absolutely beautiful, is coming out on the other side, okay? But yes, if you're interested in working with me to help you through that transition, make sure you check out Jaya with Rashadat. Um, it is my lifestyle course and community for all of this kind of lovely transition. Where is my window? Here it is. Here it is. I will put that on the screen for you right here. And if you want to know more, that website will share it with you. But you can also, oh, I just realized, since my Meta platforms are all gone, I got to give you a different platform. You could DM me on TikTok, or you could send me an email at Rashadat rashadat.o.com. Okay. And we can talk a little bit more. Okay. All right. Let me see. Megan started laughing. Kenneth said, I know that's right. Listen. Women like sex too. I don't know what they talk about. Trying to be fresh around the world. I could make a whole TikTok just for that, fresh around the world. Yes. Okay. Megan said, this conversation was helpful. It's given me things to think about as I look for my new job, to make sure I don't make my job my identity. Yay! I'm happy to hear that. You are absolutely amazing without that job. And that job is just getting to pay you for your amazingness. It is not the other way around. You're not amazing because of that job. That job is paying you for your amazingness. Okay? Yes. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay. Megan said, which I don't think I do anyway, but other people have tried doing that, especially at my current job. I understand. I understand. And when you start getting these things in place, it's easier to fortify that when you could be like, nah, this is who I actually am. You don't get to throw mud on me and try to tell me who I am. I'm going to tell you who I am. Okay? It's lovely. It's a vibe. It's such a vibe. Ooh, it gets me excited. Come on, Megan. I'm into it. All right, so let's go ahead and wind down for the weekend. There's three things that we do every week to wind down for the weekend. The first one, take a second, pull out your devices, whether your phone, pull out your laptop, pull out your tablet, and also check your emails. Okay, this is your time to do some emotional decluttering. If you have a lot of tabs open, consider closing them. Free up some space in your mind, free up some space on your computer. Okay, save them, bookmark them, because if you haven't dealt with them, they're not a priority right now. So bookmark them and come back to them later. Okay, don't let it fill up your mind. Allow yourself to be open to other things, because when we emotionally declutter, we don't just emotionally make space, we physically make space for us to receive all the things that we've been saying that we want. Right now, there's too much clutter. There's not enough space for it to come in, but we're emotionally making space for all of it. So declutter on your phone, declutter on your tablet, declutter on your laptop, declutter in your email. Okay, make space for it. If you want to share how many tabs you're closing, go ahead and drop that in the chat. Listen, okay, I'm closing two right here. That's two tabs I'm closing. Listen, I'm gonna close this. That's three. That's four. Let's close this too. That's five. I didn't even realize that's open. That's six, seven. Okay, that's seven tabs I closed. Let me see. What else can I close? This whole thing is gonna close as soon as Freedom Fridays is over. So that's gonna be another eight right there. Listen, we can close this too. Um, yes, I got okay. So that was 16. Okay, I didn't close every tab, but I closed 16. And then here's the thing, this is an evolution. Even if you just close one tab, maybe next week you'll close two. Maybe next week, the week after that, you'll close three. And here's the thing, you'll probably open them up. But then when you close them on the weekend, you're making space for your mind, body, and soul to say, I am stepping into the weekend. I'm not going to allow that clutter to keep me any longer. So, okay, now that you've closed your windows, the next thing is to choose your fun meal for the weekend. Like, let yourself know, like, hey, this is not just a work day. So, what are you going to do? What fun are you going to eat? Now, y'all know my off days are Monday and Tuesday. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but you know what? I've been going out every day off. I've been trying a new restaurant. So last week I went to sushi. I had a bento box for lunch. It was delicious. And then the next day I went back to the Mediterranean place and had a I don't know what that sandwich was called. It was called an Oliva sandwich, but or that was the name of the restaurant. They had their own sandwich, but that was good too. So I don't know what fun meal I'm gonna have. Oh, I do have a new curry that I'm gonna try, and I think I'm gonna actually try that tonight because I'm hungry right now. So keep that in mind. Okay, choose what's your fun meal gonna be for the weekend, and then the next thing is to choose what is your fun activity going to be for the weekend. Now, Monday and Tuesday, since I had off this past weekend and I did have fun, I mean, when you have a 15-hour date, that's fun. So that was a lot of fun. I'm not sure what I'm going to do this Monday. Let me think. I have to see what the weather is like, but if the weather is nice, I might go down to the Beltline. Because I just love, listen, I love being outside when it's warm. Okay. So That's probably what I'm gonna do. And I might find a new cafe to try. That's always another good thing where I could just go and sit and listen to a book. I've been listening to so many good books, y'all. My goal is to read 150 books. I think it's 150. It's either 150 or 120 books this year. And I'm already up to like book number 30. So I've been getting through some books lately. Let me see. Keena said, I closed 10 tabs. Come on, Keena. Come on. Yes, I love it. I updated a few apps. Okay, come on. Hackers be hacking. Non-updated apps. Yes, they do. Update your apps. Get your MFA set up. Your multi listen, multifaceted. I can't even remember what MFA stands for, but get that all updated too, okay? Yes. Keena said, my weekend meals, I'm thinking Thai and Vietnamese. Ooh, you know what? I was supposed to have Vietnamese on Monday, and then we moved it to the weekend after, the Monday after. Oh, that's a good one, Keena. I love it. That sounds absolutely delicious. I'm into it. Megan said, I closed 3 tabs. Come on, Megan. Yes, I love it. Megan also said, I finally made salmon tacos. Ooh, is that what the tacos? Is that what Tracy was talking about earlier? Because it sounds good. And I ate those earlier. I have leftovers, so I can have more tomorrow. I also think I might make some cookies. Ooh, that sounds good too. That sounds good. Mm, I'm into it. All of this sounds delicious. You know, when we start talking about food, we could talk about food for hours. For hours. That being said, though, I'm going to go ahead and wind it down. Y'all, it's always, always, always so good to see you. I hope that as you move into this week, that you make some time to prioritize you, that you laugh from the bottom of your stomach, like from your tips of your toes, all the way, like the deep belly laugh, okay? I hope you give good hugs. I hope you watch something fun. I hope you do something filling. And I hope that you get a chance to do more than just numb. Numbing is okay sometimes, but I hope that you also really get to do something that fills your emotional cup. Thank you so much for taking time to hang out with me. You know, I always enjoy you. Um, and I'm looking forward to doing this again like we do every single week. So, yes, thank you for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you, and I will see you, you know, right here next week on Freedom Fridays. Yay! Have a good weekend, y'all. Is it playing? See, it's acting crazy. See, acting stupid. Come on, acting like it don't know what to do. Let me refresh it. Here we go. Hopefully that's it. There we go. All right, y'all. Have a good weekend. Let me see. Yes. Thanks, y'all, for stopping in. All right, y'all. See y'all next.